Hello there, lovely patrons. You are getting early access of this video, so I really hope that you enjoy it. Let me know what you think. This is a little special video. I have actually done this video already before on my channel, but personally I was disappointed with the quality of the audio and kind of myself. So I decided, why not redo it? Better camera, better lighting, better microphone. I think it's time for it to happen. Based on the title, it is story time. It is time to talk about some confessions, because this channel is all about being honest. And for me to expect you guys to be honest and opening and all that, I need to do that myself. Not to say that I haven't been honest before now, just that we're getting all the dirty laundry out in the air. Now, I do want to give a disclaimer that there will be some triggering stuff in this video and mentions of abuse and rape and suicide. So if that is not your thing, that is totally fine. Feel free to bypass this video completely and I will totally understand. Number one, I have an abusive grandmother. I actually call her Satan. Fun fact. So if you ever hear me say the word Satan and refer to a human being, that means it's her. So she lived with us for 1 year about. And I went to therapy once, and my therapist said that that 1 year, that one moment of her living in the same household is the center and cause of all of my mental health issues and all of my issues that I've had since then. We're starting off on a great foot, but that is really the base of the chaos that becomes my life, which leads us to high school. I self-harm. This is something that I don't really say a lot out loud, and it's not because I'm ashamed of it or because, you know, like, I never quite got to the point where I was ready to, you know, like, end it all. I never really got there. Thankfully, I did have a support system that recognized the signs, they were willing to help me find help in whatever way that was, and that was therapy, which is why I'm a huge advocate for therapy, because I love it. In high school, that was a period of my life. That is what, unfortunately, hormones and an abusive grandmother will do to you. Number three, we're going to backtrack a little bit. My biological father left my mother when I was very young. I remember bits and pieces of my relationship with him. It wasn't a big one. I didn't really like him. He always was in a bad mood in the perspective of me as a young kid. And this brings me to number four, that I did not get along with my stepdad. And the reason this is a confession is because I grew up in a household that said that sharing these things with other people, with outside people, was not okay, which is why I suffered with depression and anxiety for so long. I was under the belief that you're not supposed to talk about these things. Not getting along with him, you know, you kind of get along with your parental figures when you're younger, but then you grow up and you start forming your own ideas and your own beliefs and your own personality traits, and ours always seemed to clash, and we didn't get along really at all, and we didn't really, we didn't really reconcile until much later on, and by that point he was already passing away, so it never fully got resolved. But that just really sums up how I don't have a father figure in my life. My first relationship was abusive. The length of relationship was 1 year and 3 months precisely. I remember I was the one to eventually formally break it off. We did that thing where you are with someone and you know, you're young, your first relationship, there's a lot of bumps and roads and you're growing and you're learning who you are. And that relationship, there was a lot of breakups. There were many breakups and get back togethers and all that stuff. That relationship was very taxing, and unfortunately that was my first, you know, like, official teenage relationship that I had. Number six is actually really difficult for me to talk about, because I only within the past 5 years sort of acknowledged that this event happened, and that it was a reality for me, and that was that he raped me. It wasn't just one time. I think I was so ingrained in that relationship and that reality that I mean, there's even more stuff that I don't remember. I don't remember pieces of time in that period because my brain is like, nah, you good. Lighten it up a little bit. Not as hefty stuff. Maybe 2 years ago, I got in a huge online Tumblr roleplay fallout. I've never fully given this information, probably because that seems gossipy, but the truth of the matter is it was so big that I quit role-playing for about a year at least, and I had a lot of anxiety and self-doubt about going back into roleplay and getting back into online writing with other people, because I felt like all this stuff was my fault. It really wasn't. Like, people be crazy online. I had been so ingrained in giving so much of myself to a group of people, and then it all fell apart when I had nothing left to give. Thankfully, I am past that, and I have gotten back into role-playing. I'm adminning again, and I'm loving it. It's so much fun. Number 8, I kind of gave away. I have depression and anxiety. I get panic attacks, I get anxiety attacks, I get depressive spells, and I never know when any of it's gonna happen. So it's always a fun game. And speaking of anxiety, number 9, I suffer from crippling debt. And you can thank college for that one. Specifically 1 year at one school. Some days I'm okay with it. I acknowledge that is the reality of the world that we live in. But on the other end of it, I don't have health insurance because I can't afford to pay for health insurance. And does that mean that I'm gonna get taxed or whatever when it comes time for taxes? Yes. I don't know how much it is. I'm not willing to look. It's to the point of I'm in a cycle of getting paid and 2 days later being back in the negatives because I can't afford to survive. But we're on to the positive thing, which is good. I feel like I rushed through a lot of that, but it's very straightforward, and I feel like each topic honestly could be their own videos. So like, let me know if you want to hear about anything. I mean, I'm very much an open book about everything, not just for a video, but I mean in real life I'm a very open book person. I don't think anything should be hidden that you don't want to be hidden. But anyway, the positive things. Number 1, with all of those negative things, the whole world sucks, but I am a hopeless romantic. I love reading romance novels. I love writing cute little fluffy things. As negative as I seem to people on the internet in real life, I love. Secondly, I can actually sing pretty well, and this one is the most terrifying thing for me to talk about, I think, in this entire video. I want to share the positive things and confessions. I took singing lessons when I was younger, and I stopped, but I never gave up singing. It's always that thing that I've always wanted, and I think I'll always will want. So here's a clip of me singing from my school. I would sing right now, but there's people in the house and they could hear me. Sleeping beauties in a foul look for shame. She says, not for you, dear prince. I'm tired today. And number 3, it's the final thing of this video. I actually have an IQ of 145, which is considered highly gifted and above average, just so you know. That's the smarts. I keep moving around because it's hot in this room and I don't know what to do with myself. This has been my confessions vlog story time thing. I really hope that this has given you some courage to share something about yourself that you normally wouldn't. I am a huge believer in talking about things because I think that really does help. With that being said, don't be afraid to go down in the comments. Let me know if you want any of this stuff to be like a story time vlog video thing, as well as while you're down there, go and hit that subscribe button so that you can become part of the Stori-Teller Squad. Thank you for watching, and keep on shining, storytellers.